Hi guys, I'm Kyler Robinson, here with the BI Sports Podcast, and I'm here with two-time All-American and University of Wyoming wrestler Bryce Meredith. Bryce, thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a couple crazy years for you, honestly.
Absolutely.
It's been up and down. Had tremendous success while you've been here. You grew up in the state of Wyoming. You're from Cheyenne. Take me through kind of what it's been like to wrestle for the University of Wyoming, having been here.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling for the University of Wyoming it's been a blessing. It really has. You know, like most people know, I wasn't here my freshman year, so it wasn't always like this was the place I thought I was going to end up, and this is where I didn't think my career was going to end. But I'm super glad that I am here and that my career is going in the direction it has been going with this state backing me. I mean, it's a pretty special place.
And kind of to segue off that, four-time All-American in high school, four-time state champion. How did that decision come about, going to NC State all the way across the country? What was the conversation like with your family, with yourself? Take me through that process.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people always think the recruiting process is really fun and a great time and stuff, but it's crazy. You know, you're a 17-year-old kid talking to these coaches that do this for a living. They're professionals that trying to get you to come to their school.
Right.
And everybody just thinks it's all fun and games because you get to go on these visits to these schools, you know, and they really cater to you when you're there. And it's a good time, but it's the most stressful time in my life. 100%, I've never been more stressed doing anything else. And when I was going through the recruiting process, you know, there was always a part of me that wanted to stay here and wrestle for the University of Wyoming because our wrestling program has been so successful. And, you know, of course, being around family and friends is nice. But then there was always that part of me that it was like, I have to get out. I have to go to this big school in this big city and experience something that I never have because, you know, a lot of people get kind of trapped in Wyoming in the way of life, and it's not a very diverse place. You don't get to learn as much maybe in a big city where, you know, things are a little bit different. The way of life is a little bit different. So I always just felt this pressure that I had to get out. I had to go. I had to move out. And North Carolina State, you know, the recruiting process with them went really well. And you know, when we put it all out on paper and I talked to my family, you know, they were real supportive of me. No matter what I wanted to do, they were there for me. And I just decided that I had to leave. I had to get up and run away for a little while. And, you know, when I was out there, it was a good time. I learned a lot. But I'll stress this to a lot of young kids. Family and friends and support goes way beyond anything else, way beyond a couple more activities that you can do in Raleigh, North Carolina than you can at, you know, Laramie. But man, being around good people, it's important. And I mean, my success speaks for it as well because, you know, at North Carolina State, I just wasn't happy. And when your mind's not in the right place, it's hard to compete. It's crazy how strong the mind really is. And I kind of felt like I was trapped there, I was in this place that I didn't want to be. But then when I moved out here and I got around my family and my friends, man, you have a lot of freedom. Your mind is just in a freedom state, and you can become a pretty deadly person when you have that.
Do you feel that being away from your family and friends, you kind of grew up a little bit with that year in Raleigh?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I guess I just never realized how much they do for you. You know, how much, and it's not oh, my mom doing my laundry kind of stuff. I'm talking real life, getting down to your happiness, all the way down to the roots of happiness. It's there. You know, that the seed is family and friends, and when there's no seed, nothing's going to grow from it. And I just felt that yeah, I grew a lot as a man, and I learned a lot, and I matured a ton, and I'm thankful for that opportunity. But then I'm also thankful that I got to experience it and then come back and be a better man around the people that I love.
Right. And that's awesome because we're happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, it's a really big deal for this university to have someone who, you know, went to an NCAA final for the first time since 1960.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal in the grand scheme of the history of this school. This school has a very prestigious history. I mean, you see the banners in the IPF of all the bowl games we've been to. You see, you know, when we went to all the times we went to the NCAA tournament when we won it with Kenny Sailors. This is up there in that same tier.
Yeah.
That moment in you making it to NCAAs and as far as you've gone 2 years in a row. couldn't be happier for you. You're such a good dude. You work so hard, and you kind of, in my mind, represent everything that it is to be a Wyoming Cowboy, kind of that code of the West, hard work, doing things the right way, treating others, how you want to be treated, and at the same time competing your butt off and doing it the right way. So that's awesome, man.
No,
it's awesome
huge.
that you're doing that.
Piggybacking off NC State real quick.
Yeah.
We're going to get a little less serious here for a second. So NC State, your homie Kevin Jack, super good friends at NC State. You come back to Wyoming. You beat him twice in the NCAA tournament. It seems to you like you have his number. Can you explain to me a little bit what's going on there with the whole wrestling Kevin Jack thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously when we looked at the bracket and we saw that we were on the same side both years, it's kind of like, dang, you got to go wrestle your best friend at the time that you're the most selfish. When you're at the NCAA tournament, it's all about you. It's just the one time that it's like, this is my time to get my dream, to accomplish my goals. And so, obviously the friendship goes out the window 100% when we're about to wrestle. And we know it. We'll be friends afterwards, but during, we can't be friends. It's just how it is. But it's crazy. He's probably pretty bitter about it because the first year he was the 3 seed, and then this year he was the 2 seed. And both times, I come in as a low seed and beat him when he's not supposed to. The kid was pretty much undefeated all year, and then he had to run into me again. And it's been a crazy little battle that we've had, and we still got one more year of it, and hopefully we get on different sides and make it to the finals, because I truly believe that's the match that people want to see in the NCAA tournament, because of the history between us, and just we're both wrestlers that like to score a lot of points. But ultimately, like I said, it's just my dream's more important to me than his dream, even though I care about him.
How much do you guys talk? You guys text?
Yeah, during the year we text, actually, throughout the year, if he'll beat somebody pretty good, I'll send him a text, and vice versa, So it's fun to stay connected with him, but then you can tell at the end of the year, a couple weeks before NCAAs, we don't talk too much. We know it's like the friendship's done. But after the NCAA tournament this year, we got to hang out even after we wrestled and stuff. And a lot of people are like, "What the heck, y'all are hanging out?" And it's just he was my best friend for a year, so you can't just throw that out the window because of a wrestling match. But
at the end of the day, it's a sport.
Of course.
Those friendships, they're going to last a while. So that's cool. And that's something I kind of like about college athletics.
Yeah.
And, athletics in general nowadays, there's kind of this thing where it's, you hear the old NBA basketball players talking there's no rivalries anymore. No one hates each other. Everyone's buddy. I don't think I really mind it, because at the same time, how many other people on earth are living that similar life to you, that can relate to you on that level, that understands what you're going through?
Yeah.
If you don't associate with people who do the same things that you do, you're kind of trapped in a box where people don't have the same perspective as you.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's a good way to put it. Wrestling doesn't always get the most publicity and respect and stuff. So people that are inside the wrestling community, it's a lot of respect there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. During the match, I'll punch you in the face and maybe call you a bad name or something like that. But after the match, I know what you go through. You know what I go through, and man,
it's respect. You guys,
and so much respect in that sport. I have so many good friends from wrestling, and most of them are the ones that I wrestled, It's not, I've wrestled against, I've competed against. So it's, the states I've traveled, the people I've met, I have friends on every coast of the country. And, that's pretty special. And I guess kind of like what you said, rivals and stuff. Kevin Jack and I could be a rival, you know what I mean? I'll be his friend afterwards, but best believe we're a rival when we're on the mat, and that's special. And yeah, I enjoy it.
And that's all that really matters. Who cares about all the beef going on it? Kind of to go off topic, this whole Shaq and Charles Barkley thing, do you think all the beef that they're creating with everyone, the LeVar Ball, do you think that has a lot to do with kind of there not being too many big they're trying to start that up again,
trying to spark something up?
Yeah,
just that publicity.
Yeah, kind of that old school feel with the trash talk and stuff.
Yeah, that's probably why KD and Russ are doing what they're doing right now, because everyone's, we need more rivals, and so maybe KD and Russ are playing it up to where when they really don't hate each other. But I mean, maybe they do, but they're just trying to play the villain role in the whole thing, you know?
Because
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, obviously Russ wasn't happy about it.
No,
Russ
can't
I mean,
be
and
happy
you,
about
yeah,
it.
exactly. You're losing your best all-around basketball player in Kevin Durant, the guy who's been there for a long time. But I definitely feel like the media has twisted this into a sense that I think we all see them as almost more rivals than they do.
Yeah.
But
100%.
now it's real with the fight and stuff
Yeah.
between Steph and Russ and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, if they don't have a story these days, they'll make one.
Yeah,
You know,
they'll
you
create
hear that lyric, and it's so real, man. They got to create stuff. People love villains.
Yeah. Do you? It's hard to hear and to see what's going on a wrestling mat.
Yeah.
It's you guys are just doing your own thing. Is there trash talk? Is there
No,
ever
not
trash
too
talk?
much. I'm actually like
Other
one
than
of
Bryce getting slapped in the face.
Does anyone ever say, "Hey, pretty boy"?
No, man.
I'm gonna call
I'm
you
actually
something.
like one of the few people I've ever even known about that has like talked to people during matches. Most
Yeah.
people are like, "What? I've never done that. What? I've never done that." But
What do you say?
can't.
Off
not
record.
not
Yeah.
off record.
Censored.
Okay. It's okay. That's all right.
But yeah, no, it's fun. You know, I mean, people, you know, after whistles and stuff, we'll get up and beef, and you know, you get like a little pushing and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't happen too often because, you know, how refs are, they're so in control that instantly when you do it, you give up an unsportsmanlike and you know stuff like that. Like one of the matches I lost this year was because I hit somebody in the face and they gave them a point, and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can't get that back. So you have to really be careful. You know, it's not a technical like in basketball. If you get a technical, they shoot 2 free
You can
throws.
recover from it.
Yeah, you can't recover from a point sometimes in wrestling. It's a little bit too tough.
Well, and I think it's more fast-paced, whereas in, you know, you make a mistake in basketball, that's one play out of the entire game.
Yeah.
Football, you make a mistake, you're going to get back on the field and have another opportunity to do something with it, whereas in wrestling, every single point is vital. Every single moment of that small amount of time you're on the mat is vital. So maybe that has something to do with kind
Yeah.
of maybe less trash talk in the sport and stuff. You have to focus on you for like that.
Yeah,
duration.
I always say that like I think wrestling is one of the most unforgiving sports. Fighting
Right.
in general, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
UFC fighting, wrestling and stuff is because you got 7 minutes. One mistake costs so much. That's why you see 18 returning All-Americans, not All-American this year. You know,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy, and I think like 5 or 6 of them were 2-time All-Americans. So it's
Wow.
yeah, exactly. It's a crazy tournament, and everybody knows that March is crazy in basketball. It's crazy in wrestling too. You know, I was a 14 seed taking out 3 seeds and stuff. That's not common. So it's a crazy, unforgiving place, that NCAA tournament. And, you know, a lot of people be like, oh, you got 4th, you know, like kind of a bummer year. It's like, man, you don't get it. Like, we at the top right now, and everything costs so much, you know, so.
And it's different. I feel like the public, yeah, they see that as a pure number,
Mhm.
where you got 2nd last year and you got 4th this year.
Yeah.
And they go, what went wrong? And you have to say kind of nothing.
Yeah.
You're under the radar last year. It's
Mhm.
different the second year. And you see it in all sports. You see the rookie of the years come out and they just kill it because they're not thinking about anything and no one knows anything about them.
Yeah, they're just
and
playing.
and then they go through a sophomore, you know, phase where
Everything's on them. They're shining in the brightest light.
and everyone knows who they are and they have a target on your back. Take us through kind of what that was like coming from last year to this year.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked about it a couple times actually. With like last year, people probably weren't watching too much film on me. You know
Right.
what I mean? It just, oh yeah, he's real tough. Oh, he's like 14th in the country, whatever. Like, you know, he's good, but we don't need to watch film on him. You know what I mean? Just go out there
Right.
and wrestle your match. This year, there was a difference. You know, I could tell people were wrestling completely different than how they would wrestle somebody else when they're wrestling me. You could hear their coaches saying, you know what I mean? Watch this, watch this, watch this. And it
Right.
was just like, you could tell that they were watching crazy amounts of film on me. And, they knew that my style was like more funky and like kind of high flying and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, you know, their goal was to shut that down. And I've said in plenty of interviews, I think if I get in a 7-minute wrestling match where we're actually wrestling, I'm going to win 98% of the time.
Yeah.
The times that we get in a, you know, kind of like a standoff match, real slow pace and stuff like that, people are going to be able to, you know, capitalize on a little mistake. So, yeah, and I felt that this year, and I had to learn a lot from it. You know, that's why I think I took maybe a couple more losses than I wanted to. It was just people wrestled me a lot different, you know, and people some people will wrestle you scared, and that makes the match easier. But then the other people will throw the dang kitchen sink at you, and they'll come at you.
What do you got to do to beat Dean?
Man, I got to be able to take him down. You know what I mean? We've wrestled like 3 or 4 times, and I've only took him down like once. And he's just so good on his feet. You know, he's real good, solid position and stuff. And I just got to get to the point where I can open him up more. You know, and I think because I'm better on the mat, I'm a better mat wrestler than he is. But he's just, I mean, he's a 2-time national champ for a reason. You know, because he is good on his feet.
I want to touch on something really quick here. We actually all grew up together.
Yeah.
I've known Bryce, you know, ever since I was basically in elementary school. And actually him and Brady are really, really, really close. So I want to go back to Brady. What is it like to see your best friend have this type of success?
Yeah, it's amazing, man. And it was a bummer when he went to NC State for sure. I mean, we have a pretty big group of friends. We're all super tight ever since high school pretty much, back in junior high even. And so it's amazing to see one of your best friends succeed the way that he's succeeding, and just all the time and effort that he's put into it. I know that it's been a ton from the time he was 4 years old ish, like that. So yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, it doesn't really come around that often when you have a best friend succeed. You get to watch him on ESPN, talking to ESPN and stuff like that after matches. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And you know, kind of bouncing off of that, you are kind of a celebrity on this campus at the moment. I remember we were at the basketball game a couple weeks ago, and you get on the hair cam on the big screen, and you get kind of a standing ovation from the crowd.
Yeah.
What's that like? I mean, people know who you are. They see your face on the big screen. They're like, that's Bryce Meredith. That's the dude that's taken us to the top in wrestling. What's that like?
I mean, it's special, man. Like, it really is. Like, I can't emphasize how much, like, how grateful I am for those opportunities, you know? And that's another reason why Wyoming's so special, is because you're at a men's basketball game, and I was on the Jumbotron for a couple seconds, and people didn't even hesitate to start standing up and clapping for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's some special things, you know? And then, like the whole celebrity thing, it's kind of funny, you know? A lot of times I'll just be on campus, and I could just see people just staring at me, and they won't say anything, you know? But I'm just like, they're just sitting there talking to their friends, whispering or whatever like that. And that's always like really fun to see too, you know?
That's a direct result of hard work paying off.
Yeah.
People know who you are.
Absolutely.
When you walk around
like,
the campus.
I mean, so much of our life is like wanting to be accepted, and you know what I mean, getting this recognition from people. Yeah. And it's dangerous to put your recognition into people, because people are flawed and it will always fail you. Yeah. But, you know, when you're getting it, it's fun.
You appreciate it.
I do, absolutely. I'm not putting my identity into it, but best believe I love it.
You have 10,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Do you think that has more to do? Do you think that has more to do with your talent on the mat, or that amazing hair on top of your head? It's immaculate.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a good 9,000 of them are for the hair. You know, good following on the hair.
1,000 respect.
And the biceps.
The biceps look all right if I post the picture. You know, but no, you know, I think it's a little bit of everything. You know, like I talk about it a lot. Wrestling lacks personality. It really does. It's this very brute sport that people are just kind of just hard nose and go. So wrestlers that do have personality, it gets loud and people enjoy it. And
you have style.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Because the couple people that, like, throughout the country that do have that style and do bring personality to the mat, people love them. They're the people's champion.
So you know? Watch.
Yeah. It's like,
I want to watch.
Yeah, everybody. Like, what? You know, who wants to watch a 3-2 match, you know, between... Yeah, you're the guy that won nationals, you know. But nobody wants to see that, you know. People want these loud personalities, and I think that's why I got a good amount of followers on it. And shouts to my followers, love you all. But yeah, it's fun.
Now, we also did a deep dive on your Twitter.
Yeah.
And found a tweet. Brady, can you kind of explain what the tweet
actually,
was?
Bryce, I don't know, something like, what was it? I wish Madison Beer.
Me and Madison Beer should
be together.
But we got to get to the bottom of it while we're not.
Explain who she is for those who don't recognize
I'm not even
the name.
really sure. She's a singer of some sort, very talented.
Yes.
Like all her singing videos for sure. But she's just she's really gorgeous, and I don't know. I guess just through an Instagram, I feel like she's got a good soul. I could see it, and I'm like, dang, I want a girl like that.
How can you make this happen?
So
how can we help you make this happen?
Yeah, Brady and I were talking about how I gotta contact old Jay Bieber because
really,
yeah, I mean he been hitting me up a lot since NCAA's, but so I gotta hit him up and I gotta slide. I gotta get her number somehow, man. Maybe if I get verified on Twitter. You know, if I could get that blue check,
that blue check mark by
she
your
might
name.
actually
got like 3,000 followers.
Yeah,
You're getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there. Twitter's a little bit harder than Instagram for sure. You know, people care more about your face than your thoughts.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I was about to say. Speaking of that, nice little segue. I need to show the camera here this picture, and I'm gonna have Bryce explain it to those who aren't watching this and are just listening. Can you explain to the people at home who can't see this, help them visualize what we're looking at right now?
All right. So when you guys go to your high school state championships and you buy a T-shirt, on this T-shirt from Florida High School State Wrestling Championships
of 2017,
it's a picture of me. And I got my arms out, my hair going wild, and yeah, I'm on the shirt. And I did not get contact about this. I'm not getting no royalties from it. NCAA, y'all got to open those doors for us so I can start getting that bread off it.
They made money off of it.
Yeah,
like
of
the T-shirts
course.
sold.
Yeah, you know, Florida's actually got a lot of wrestlers in it. You know what I mean? It's a very populated state.
Big time state.
So I mean, a lot of kids are wearing this shirt with my face on it, which is pretty flattering. It's pretty cool. When I got sent this on Facebook, I was like, no way.
Did you know the person who sent it to
you?
you?
Yeah, he was like Bryce, because he was from Florida, you know, and he was like, I did a camp out there this summer with that guy, but then like he was like, Bryce, they put you on the state wrestling shirt, and I was like, that's amazing. That's so flattering.
And for those of you who don't know, his arms are up. This is after the semifinal match last year at NCAA's. It was a really cool moment. He got up off the mat after he won and knew he was going to the finals, and he put his arms in the air, and you had longer hair. You had kind of the same style but longer, and it was falling over your gear. And it's just a really epic, cool picture. So funny that happens.
It's amazing.
You need royalties. You need to get paid for that.
I need that money.
All right. Well, really quick, I want to kind of rewind back to a year ago.
Yeah.
You are from Cheyenne, Wyoming, town of 60,000 people, and you find yourself in Madison Square Garden. All the lights are on. You're on the stage doing the weigh-in. Everyone's eyes are on you.
Yeah.
20,000 screaming fans, and you're about to wrestle for a national title. What were the emotions like that day?
Man, it was like a nirvana almost. Like I wasn't even nervous, which is a crazy thing, you know, like you think most people, when you get to that point, you'd be so nervous for the national title. But, man, I was in such a good place. I was having such a good time that, like, it was just amazing. Like, you hear so many artists talk about how one of their pinnacles is selling out the Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's a bit like Staples Center, Madison Square Garden. You've made it.
It's the pinnacle, man. And that's, like, it's amazing to me that at 21 years old, 20 actually at the time, I got to compete at a sold-out Madison Square Garden as the main event. That is, oh man. I mean, how does it get any better than that? It really doesn't.
I don't
Obviously,
think so.
winning would have been the best. But yeah, I mean, I made sure right when I got on the mat that I just looked around and I just embraced it, because I think so many people probably like get in the zone, and I was just like, no, you got to embrace this, man. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. You will never get to experience this again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, and you never know what happens. You know? What if you never get back there? Something crazy happens. Yep. I'm glad that you took that in.
Of course, you have to. Sports are unforgiving.
They are. They are.
Really are.
And those moments are, I mean, that's why you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why you were a fourth grade kid out there, you know, working on it. That's why you have put your whole life into this thing.
Yeah.
It is amazing to see a friend do that.
Well, thank you.
You know, like when you say that out loud, that you watch someone actually, because, you know, we all work as hard as we can, but a lot of us don't get to that point we want to be at.
Yeah, exactly.
And you did.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Could you just explain a little bit what your family means to you and everything they've done for you, wrestling wise, and just traveling around the country and things like that?
Yeah, so much. Like you always hear people say like self-made and all those quotes and stuff, and that's just the biggest BS you ever heard. Hey, nobody is self-made. Nobody does it on their own. It starts with my parents, you know, just investing so much time and money, traveling 9-10 months of the year, like literally across the country, so I could wrestle as a 12-year-old kid, a 10-year-old kid, you know, going just to, I mean, I'm thinking I'm at like 38, 40 states that I've been to for wrestling.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty special, and that didn't come from me. I wasn't like I was a 12-year-old kid putting myself through that.
Yeah.
That's my parents. And you know what I mean? I had my dad as the guy that was like a little bit more of like the one that was hard on me and was pushing me in that direction and wouldn't let me, be soft, I guess you could say. And then I got my mom there as like, she was like the tour manager, the one that cared and was like a little bit nicer in the process. But, man, it's crazy because so much of like everything that I've been given is just like, I don't even understand how I deserve it. I really don't. With the family, the friends, the way the Lord has blessed me with such a positive mindset no matter what I'm going through, I'd like to think that's me being like positive and having fun, but like it's not. I was given all this. I was given the athletic abilities and everything. And when I say like I deserve none of the credit, like I truly do mean that. Of course I love credit, but it's not for me.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Comes from something bigger for sure.
Well, and that's amazing to hear from someone who is successful. You know, that's refreshing to hear. We'll finish up here, but I want to talk about kind of where you see yourself next year. What are your aspirations? What's the goal? What's the major goal?
It's the top. It's always been the goal. Since my sophomore year when I had this, this realization that I can be a national champ, that I can be the best in the country, that's always been the goal, and I understand that there's going to be ups and downs in that process, but I mean, who wants to be second place? You know what I mean? Nobody likes being second place. Everybody wants to be the champ, and I'm in the position where I can be a national champ. A lot of people will never be able to reach that point, and so I don't want to, slip that opportunity. And I'm not putting my whole life into that. And if it's like, if I'm not a national champ, then I'm a bust, just give up, throw in the towel. None of this even matters and stuff like that. But, I just want to be a better wrestler and have fun, be a better person and be a better wrestler. That's the ultimate goal is, if I don't become a national champ ever in my college career, this was still the best 4 years of my life. This was still, an amazing time, amazing amounts of success, all these other things. But ultimately, it's just the people I've come in contact with, how much tougher I think I've become as a human going through this grind for 4 years. And, my goal is to just become a better wrestler. And when I become a better wrestler, a national championship will come with that.
That's amazing. Hey, well, thank you for joining us
you
today.
Guys.
Thank you.
It was always a pleasure to see you.
Always.
We'll see you around. Everyone, you need to come watch this kid wrestle.
Yeah.
Like he said, he's high flying. He's high energy. It's really fun to watch. Thank you guys for tuning in to the BI Sportscast. Appreciate it.
Take care.